Chris Williamson's day starts with a walk where he tries to bake in creativity, productivity, and health, blurring the lines between these goals. He wakes up, goes for a walk, and then showers, getting straight into building mode. He separates his day into two categories: releasing or constraining entropy. In the morning, he avoids his phone and focuses on his writing, usually working on a novel or longer-term project that requires extra effort to build. He then moves on to his main levers, which are writing for his newsletter and social posts, as these pull traffic. After a walk, he checks his email, Slack, and Telegram, doing maintenance or admin work that doesn't require focused attention. He then goes to the gym, creating a hard separation between the rest of his day, which is spent reading, writing, and pacing between productivity and creativity. Dan Koe points out that even when being creative, discipline is still necessary. Chris agrees, saying that creativity thrives within constraints, and that without discipline, distractions can derail the creative process. He notes that productivity is more about being hyper-focused on one thing, while creativity operates within a specific set of constraints, such as a project. He loves writing a weekly newsletter because there's never an idea that can't be utilized, and he can listen to audiobooks or YouTube lectures that give him ideas for his project. Chris has a tweet about discipline, saying that people aren't disciplined because they put themselves in environments that allow them to be undisciplined. Dan asks if this is about environment design, and Chris agrees, saying that it's about making it difficult to be undisciplined. He gives examples of putting unhealthy foods in the pantry or buying them, and how people can't eat what they don't have in the house. Dan asks about another tweet, which says that potential is determined by how much uncertainty people are willing to embrace. Chris explains that this means gradually expanding what is known into the unknown, taking steps into uncertainty, and allowing the mind to sit and marinate in that uncertainty. He notes that this is when the mind can grow the most, and that people need to create a frame for their mind to operate within, like a worldview. Dan asks how people should figure out what they want out of life, given the unlimited optionality and direction. Chris suggests solving an infinite string of problems in life, starting with the most pressing problem. He notes that as people move forward, more meaningful and challenging problems start to uncover, and that they need to create a frame for their mind to operate within. Dan loves the idea of writing out what people don't want their life to be like, and notes that inversion is a powerful tool. He mentions a thought experiment about how to make a happy person miserable, and how people should focus on building blocks like sleep, food, and exercise, rather than complex problems like serotonin balance. Chris notes that this is similar to his idea of creating an anti-vision, and Dan mentions his annual review template, which asks what people would do to make their 85-year-old self miserable. Chris asks if there are foundational habits that every single person should do, and then fulfillment and creativity come from dancing between those and doing their own thing. Dan doesn't answer directly, but the conversation suggests that there is leeway for people to find their own path and create their own habits, while still acknowledging the importance of discipline and constraints in the creative process. If you enjoyed this episode till now and want to listen to the complete episode, please subscribe to quick podcast summaries on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for less than the price of candy in most places, and you can save an average of 20 hours per week of your precious time. It's a great way to stay informed while saving time.